guys, it's Kanan.
This is Jesse.
And we are the Geeky Saying Couple, and welcome to our RWBY Volume 7, Chapter 4 overview/analysis video. Boy, this episode. Okay. Not a lot of action. It was definitely a kind of a downtime episode, but like I said,
we need it.
Yeah, like I said in our reaction, the biggest criticism I have for this episode is we really need moments, we really need interactions between the characters that last longer than 10 seconds. I mean, yes, have the plot keep going, introduce what you need to and all that, but that's my only criticism so far about this volume is it's almost like we're going, and then once it's time for character development and interactions, it's been done. Next week's episode, the title's already out. It's called Sparks, which could mean Spark of Revolution, because this is when we're going to see Robin. Could mean Spark of Romance, we don't know. It's a longer episode. It's going to be almost 20 minutes. And it was funny. We said in the reaction that this episode's description, we kind of knew there was going to be some kind of celebration or whatever, but it kind of sounded like we were going to Mantle in this one for them.
Yeah.
It did say that, and that didn't happen. So the description was kind of misleading. So next week, hopefully, because they were talking about missions and Mantle and all that. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get some slides up here. So, beginning of the episode, pretty much, they're all making this dramatic entrance out of the mines. Marrow, of course, is all smiles and all that, and we noted that he looks over at Clover and gets all serious. But I'm jumping ahead, ain't I? I could have sworn this was later in the episode, but
no.
So they pull Amity Arena to where the dust mine is. Now, here's the thing: is there seriously enough dust in that abandoned mine to keep this thing fueled? Because I thought they were going to go to different mines that are probably abandoned to get more dust, but I guess it's just going to be this one mine. The internet already loves this Faunus. So we already call that these are members of the Happy Huntresses because of the little wing symbol that they have. And I believe in the intro, Robin has the same emblem on her, and everybody loves this sheep Faunus.
Looks like a little bell.
Yeah, so she might be a cow. I mean, I don't say that in a bad way, but she might be a sheep, she might be a cow. The white hair makes me say sheep, just because, sheep are...
The ears, too.
Yeah. I'm guessing the other one is human? Unless they have, I'm just guessing, because it's not like the Happy Huntresses.
You can't see anything.
So, we're guessing that since it is called the Happy Huntresses, that it's all female. So, but, so Robin and them are spying on them, pretty much, because, of course, they're going to keep eyes on Ironwood and all that. This makes you wonder, how did they know Ironwood and all them were going to be at this mine, which goes with the theory that one of the Aesops may be a double agent. It would either be Harriet or Elm at this point, because, Happy Huntresses, women.
And Marrow just doesn't fit anyways.
No.
He wouldn't be able to keep it.
No, he wouldn't be able to
His tail would tell everything.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to keep a secret for his life depending on it. So, yeah, they come out of the mines. Ruby, Jean, and Nora are still, fanboying and fangirling over the Aesops and their teamwork and all that, where I think everybody else is just
okay, we saw it. It was awesome. Next.
Yeah. This is a nice, cute little, Jean and Ruby moment, and then they add Nora, just as icing on the cake. This was just a really cute moment. So yeah, more John is like fanboying, which I kind of had a theory that he was going to start looking up to the Aesops in a way, and it kind of maybe fits that he would do that. No, I don't know, because John's always been that type. But here, Clover states, now this will go into something that happens here a little bit later, that the Aesops are hand-picked. They're not like former team members from Atlas Academy or anything like that.
No, they're all picked to complement each other and work together. They based off of their traits, strengths, and weaknesses and all that. Whereas we saw, the beginning of RWBY, where they all got launched into the forest and said the first person you see is your partner for the next 4 years.
It didn't matter if you meshed well or anything like that. It was
pretty much, to me, the way that they did that when they chose their partners. When they found their partners and all that. Your instinct would lead you in whatever direction, because you were thrown into a forest where you didn't know where to go, and you just followed an instinct, and obviously it has led them to, all the partners they work with.
Well, it's kind of funny because with Team RWBY and Team Juniper, it's weird because it is almost kind of like Pyrrha did go looking for Jean in a way, because she just stumbled, because she had to find her weapon, so she just followed where she threw it. So I'm pretty sure she was pretty certain that Jean was going to be her partner once she found her weapon. Nora
had already picked it before that. There was nothing with that one.
Nora had pretty much stalked Ren at that point. Ruby and Weiss was definitely an accident.
Yeah, but it was obviously, we find, you see now compared to then, they were meant to be partners because, despite their differences, opposites attract. Mm-hmm. So.
And then Blake, of course, sought Yang out.
Yeah.
So very different team dynamic. Like, it's pretty much stating that they probably did not know each other when they first got together, and they're military. They're going to go through.
Yeah, this process of hand picking and everything is very military like, so I can see that being why it happened that way. But the mindset on what we'll get to in a minute is just
because a lot of people are freaking out over something that's said, and I think they're really overreacting because this is the RWBY fandom. People. It doesn't help that there's a few members of the RWBY fandom that are way younger than you and me for sure, and so we tend to think differently on stuff, and others just really overreact over certain things. Now, here, okay, so the official RWBY Twitter stated that Marrow is the rookie member. He's the newest member of the Aesops. So it seems like he is still going through, still earning his stripes in a way, because the other members still, pick on him in a way, kind of like a fraternity or whatever.
Yeah.
He's getting hazed a little bit. Not badly hazed, but
making him work for it, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. And we both noticed right here that, Elm has an accent a little bit.
I've noticed, but like I said, I couldn't place it at first.
Now, I have no idea if her voice actress has an accent or what. I haven't really looked into her, but that's just one little thing we did notice in this episode, because I didn't pick it up in the last one.
Oh.
This is a moment everybody wanted, the moment it was shown that Elm wields a giant hammer.
She's also very tiny compared to her.
Yeah. And Nora just walks up, "Do you need a new best friend?" And then we get Thunder Thud. Okay, so a few things. This is classic Nora. Everyone's already said this needs to be a t-shirt.
The background, though.
Yeah, Elm is like, what the hell?
Yeah, what is going on?
This chick's crazy. It's like, where the heck is this coming from? And
then this.
Yeah.
Ren just
walks over.
Casually walks over, picks her up, and just keeps walking. Like,
this probably made the Renora shippers feel a bit better after last week.
I loved that. It was so funny. But that also leads to her saying that it's not a playground.
Yeah. Ruby goes up to Harriet and says how she hopes she can watch her friends back, just like the Aesop says, which is, I think, is kind of a weird line because they've already been doing that. They've been.
I think what she means is like, just be more than what they are right now, like being able to do that.
But it's weird, the Aesops don't seem that much older than them.
I know. And the thing is I really do think, like we've seen in the past, they do work and sync well together. But I think they just want to be up at a higher level. I think it's the military training that has the Aesops. Because they just don't look that much older than them. Because everybody's talking about, with Crow and Clover, that Clover is obviously younger than Crow. So I don't know. He looks like he still might be the oldest, but he is definitely younger than Crow.
Yeah, I'd say he's at least younger than 30. But anyway, Harriet almost looks offended when she answers Ruby, and she points out that the Aesops really aren't friends, apparently, and that
friends in the term of like a job.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, they're a team, but they're not. They don't have the emotional bonds with each other. Now, there has been a theory that Elm and Vine may be in a romantic relationship because later in this episode, it's pretty apparent they're meant to parallel Ren and Nora.
Yeah.
So either they just do a good job to where they don't show it, or maybe that theory is just completely wrong. Or maybe there are parallels for Ren and Nora and what not to be. Who knows? Because
they can go a few ways, but I mean, the thing is we also don't know if the entire team thinks that way as far as friends. Because the only one that said friends was Harriet.
Yeah,
no one else said anything.
Yeah, Harriet might be the one who thinks that way because Marrow has already shown that he does kind of care about the others. I don't see Elm already being the type that doesn't care about the people around her. Vine, yeah, I could kind of see that way. Harriet obviously feels that way. Clover, it was stated that he's loyal to Atlas through and through. So,
well, the other thing is,
and plus, it's kind of hard to be a team leader if you don't personally care about your team.
Another thing though that fits with because of Harriet, now we know who she's based off of.
Mm-hmm.
That does fit. Her saying friends. Okay, well, think about that story, the tortoise and the hare. That's almost exactly the mindset that the hare had. So...
Well, anyway, it's funny because Yang is the one that says this, and she brings up how, if you've gone through things with someone, that things kind of change between you, and she looks exactly at Blake, and Blake's ears move when she hears Yang say that. So pretty much this is Yang coming out about the things that are developing between her and Blake, because their relationship did change after what they went through.
It did. I mean, regardless of all the things like the time that they had apart too, that also adds to the things that they've been through, and it does change things, but it's making them stronger. But
yeah, Harriet says that that the Aesops don't confuse friendship with work, which is, to tell you the truth, it's kind of an Atlas way of thinking, if you ask me.
Yeah, very Atlas military.
And it was kind of surprising to me that Harriet said something so cold. That it'd be her to say it. Now, here's the thing. Weiss doesn't really look all that really affected by it, probably because she's from Atlas, so she knows how the people in Atlas think. People you look at Blake, her ears are down, and she's looking directly at Yang. And so many are saying that she's, it's making her think about her feelings for Yang, and Yang is more than likely doing the same thing. But I mean, plus, her sister's on her team. she can't not care about her own sister.
Yeah.
And just think about work. So people are worried that this is going to make Blake and Yang second guess their feelings for each other and pull the whole, oh, we need to focus on being huntresses.
That's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, some people say that it's going to happen to cause drama before they become canon, but do Blake and Yang really need drama right now after what happened last volume? But here's my theory. If we look, it's also affect Ruby. Ruby's already going through a lot of dilemmas in her head about, what she says later in this episode. She's trying to do what she thinks is best, but she doesn't know if what she thinks is best is right. So, out of all four of them, I see this affecting actually Ruby the most.
Yeah.
Because in the next scene, when we get to it, Blake and Yang aren't worried about what Harriet said. They're acting the same way they always have to get with each other. But, yeah, that's a theory. To me, what I think this scene means is, just like last chapter, this is showing us the difference between the Aesops and Team RWBY and Team Junior. Yes, the Aesops are more skilled,
but they're also on a military level. This is completely different from...
Well, plus, Team RWBY and Junior have something the Aesops don't, and that's those emotional bonds. Hate to sound anime cliche, but in the end, that's probably what's going to put Team RWBY above the Aesops, and then that the bonds they've developed together make them stronger than the Aesops would be. Now, will the Aesops learn from Team RWBY? Maybe. Will all the Aesops die by the end? That's a possibility too. So, Ruby's super still up on adrenaline, and they're like,
pretty much, let's go what Harriet had said, and he goes, okay, well, what do you want to do, Atlas?
Yeah, she was like, what do you want to do when we get back? You want to go exploring all that? And Blake's just like, how about we just go to bed? And Ruby's like, oh, come on, we haven't explored in forever. And Weiss points out that they went all over Mistral and Anima and all that, and Ruby was like, oh,
just the boring parts.
And then Yang goes,
that's, went over it on foot, so just the boring parts. And then Yang...
He's like, we almost died. And Ruby's like, nah.
Yes.
She's like, that was nothing. Okay, so I've already seen some theories on this. Why Ironwood does not want them to take Marrow to Mantle. Many people think it's because he's a Faunus.
I think it's a combination of things.
That he's a fool. I don't think it's because he's a fool. I think it's probably because he's a Faunus, plus he's the newest member. So...
And they don't want anything to attract more,
Yeah.
Pretty much make them out in the open.
It's still kind of a little Atlas racism in a way.
Yeah, I mean, but the one thing is because Ironwood had mentioned, we don't want to attract too much attention for Atlas military being there. Well...
Plus, I'm sure
Marrow would kind of
and I'm sure
and not intentionally.
And I'm sure a Faunus in an Atlas uniform would make a lot of people mad in Mantle. So here's where everybody learns. Yes, people, it's official. Forrest is dead. So RWBY is 100% dead. John, it's funny that they kind of only show Jean and Ruby's reaction. Well. Then again, I forgot they called the team leaders. Yeah, they called the team leaders over, and Crow. And so, pretty much, a lot of people already theorized this, that someone is killing people who are outspoken against Ironwood. They're killing them to frame him. And we do definitely know that it's Tyrion that's doing the killing. Which is really, really interesting because Ironwood's not really helping his cause by not caring about his public image. That makes you look more guilty than it does innocent.
And they're playing off of that.
Yeah.
So somebody needs to,
go to Mantle and investigate?
Yeah.
So, Jean kind of burns Ironwood here. Because he says, if it wasn't for the embargo and you just not really you know,
caring about your image more.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're blaming you for everything, which John doubles down and is like, oh, you know.
no, sir.
Yeah, but then
He says, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, he knows it. And I just hope it kind of, something just kicks him in the ass.
Yeah, definitely.
So that, at some point, so that he can try and fix things. And then there's this guy.
Yeah, we all knew we would see him.
I've got so many names for this guy.
And it's so sad because that voice coming out of a character you do not like at all. If anyone's watching that doesn't watch Dragon Ball, Jason Douglas, who voices Jacques Cheney, is also the voice of Beerus from Dragon Ball.
And I absolutely love Beerus.
Yeah, so it's kind of
hard.
Yeah.
It's like that doesn't fit. Like.
So we all knew the asshole of RWBY was going to show up at some point this volume. I personally didn't expect him this early, but he shows up and he's fussing. Oh, you're
on private property.
Yeah, and he's gonna, why wasn't the council known? And Ironwood, I told the council,
and they didn't need a vote.
No.
They said to take it, so.
And just Jacques, Jacques is just going on and on, typical stuff, threatening Ironwood. We do learn that yes, he is indeed going for a seat on the council, and then he noticed that Weiss is there.
He's saying, well, so you dragged my missing daughter into this, pretty much.
But the thing is, when he first sees Weiss, he says, "You." What father greets his daughter like that? Doesn't say Weiss, doesn't say,
I thought
anything.
It was towards Ironwood.
Now, everybody said that it was toward Weiss, but, I don't know, but...
Because he had said,
but yeah,
got my missing daughter into this, and
Yeah.
she pretty much, she stood up to him.
Yeah.
Just, no, that's my choice to be here, my choice to leave.
Mhm.
Like...
Yeah, it was good to finally see her, really, really step up to him. Which everybody's been begging for since Volume 4.
Yeah, we'll give it, go back to then. She probably wouldn't have done this, but now she's got her team. No. Well,
she's got
everybody.
Ironwood standing right there.
Because
So she probably definitely knows he can't do anything physically to her.
Yeah, because, even Ironwood steps in and he goes, "You're going to do what?" And then that's this scene exactly. He goes, "What?"
But then he pulls the ultimate low card, and that is bringing up Weiss's mother, which we've still not seen. We still don't know her official name. We're just going to call her Willow for now. So yeah, this, there's going to be people who will say no, it's not, and all that, because, there's people in this fandom that are psychotic. But, he's verbally abusing her. Just like he did in Volume 4 before he actually hit her. And it's just, dude, how dare you pull this in front of all these people?
Anything to just try and, it was just low.
Now, here's the interesting thing.
And that was right after that was what he was doing,
but
pretty much.
Here's the interesting thing. The only one, as of right now, that looks truly pissed off is Blake, and that's because she knows what's going on. She went through that with Adam. She knows what verbal abuse looks like.
You can't see it, though, but the whole time at that point, once he showed up and started this, Yang's hands are in fists.
Yeah.
She's pissed, too, but she doesn't show it as fast anymore.
No, Blake's the one that's definitely, because her ears are pointed, if a
cat, they point up and out.
Mm-hmm. RWBY looks more worried than anything, but it gets better. And so we have this, everybody wanted during the hiatus for the rest of Team RWBY to stand up for Weiss when her father showed up. And that's exactly what happens. Blake grabs her hand and it makes sense for it to be Blake to grab her hand because Blake went through the same exact thing. So I can already tell people are going to be like, oh, look, Blake took Weiss's hand, so that means when she took Yang's hand in Volume 6, it was platonic.
No.
Two different situations.
There's completely different. You even see the context of how it happened. It's completely different. This is...
Different situation, different everything. This is a friend a friend who went through abuse, sticking up for her friend who is also being verbally abused right in front of her. Then we have the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So, of course, Ruby always said that she would be by Weiss's side because, I mean, then again, they are partners. They are, even though I still don't think Weiss has admitted it, but they are best friends. So it's good to still have that dynamic with these two. And, God, he's such a bastard. Here... Yeah,
Yang. It lightly.
Yang does look like she's about to attack. She really
wants. Now even Ruby's face has matched. Yeah. But yeah, they're.
But he turns around and says, "So these are the little friends you threw everything away for." And Weiss gives the most biggest mic drop moment ever, and she says, "Not friends, family." Which is a callback to what she said in Volume 5, when she told Yang that her, Blake, and Ruby were more like family to her than her father or brother, which, I mean, Winter is family too, but she's...
in that household where she was living. And when she was in that house, I think the only person that was family to her...
Was Klein. Yeah.
And
you still don't know what happened
to
him.
And he'd be the only one that's still within that actual house, And not friends, family.
And that's been built upon for a while now. That Weiss saw Team Ruby as her family, more than her.
And they've kind of formed that way. Even from the beginning, even when they didn't really see it at first, they were forming their family because look how they acted. Okay, all families act like that. Yeah. I mean, it's just...
And
after he leaves.
Yeah, after he leaves, she just lets out this breath, and
they all kind of just smile at her because they're proud of her.
Ruby pats her on the back and all that to comfort her and all that. It's a great them being a support system for each other.
That also it does speak volumes on how strong their team is as a family. That right there just shows a lot of that.
This scene alone shows that people shouldn't take what Harriet said to heart.
Yeah.
Because this kind of counters
it completely. Yeah. It's... And then, here we go.
This was hilarious. To me, this was one of the best Winter moments ever.
Just is he gone?
Yeah, she...
Oh, now you show up, Winter.
Yeah, she legit hid from her father, and here her little sister stood up to him. Yeah, it's not kind of a good look, Winter.
No.
It's funny, though. It really is. And then we got Penny. And I love Ruby for making Blake do the whole scared cat jump.
Again.
Yes.
The first time, and the hands mirror almost the same thing. And the first time was when Zwei appeared. And then
Yang looks like a tumbleweed. And Ruby looks like she's just about to bust her behind.
Well, she's felt this before,
And Weiss looks like she's just rolling through the air. How did they go flying, but Winter is still on her feet? But yeah, Penny makes her grand entrance.
And then you see them, and then you see, a foot twitch.
Yeah, and Ironwood's got, this shocked look on his face.
Penny.
Yeah.
I love her.
And at this point, we're
congratulations for what?
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, have we not started yet?" And Winter's just apparently not.
So this is pretty interesting. They're standing in the middle of Enemy Arena, which we have not seen since Volume 3, so a lot of messed up stuff happened in this arena. Penny's death, which Penny is standing there completely unfazed. I do like that Ruby gives a little bit of a look to Penny, and then next scene is Penny just giving a big smile. So people are still criticizing that, but I just don't think Penny understands the concept of death. She's a robot. I don't think death really applies to her.
But I do also see a reason, because I know some people... I mean, I've seen one comment so far, oh, well, why would they do this in a place like that? They're creating something new and happy in the place that stuff,
It's showing they've come full circle since that.
Yes, that they've come from that, so...
So at first, you're not 100% sure what's going on. But it turns out that this is a little ceremony that Ironwood's holding for them, and it does seem kind of anticlimactic because there's no one else there, but we find out they're all getting their official huntsman and huntresses license. They are official. They're no longer considered students.
Because he had gone over and said, you've
Done
far more than anyone else, had. And anything, pretty much, things that normal training would never even get close to. Mm-hmm. So they went through so much compared to a normal fresh out of school mission. This is
now, we don't have a slide for it, but it's interesting. When Ren looks at his scroll, when it still says student license, it says Beacon, but the moment it turns to huntsman license, it changes to Atlas.
That's probably where the license, they're in Atlas, and that's where it would be given. Yeah. So.
But yeah, our kids are official. They grow up so fast. And like I said,
don't have the slide for it, but about the Class Z thing. To me, that.
It's probably a starting class.
Yes.
They just got their license.
It's pretty much a basic.
It's kind
of like your driver's license. I know in the U.S. here we've got classes for different types of license. A basic license has this designated letter. So, to me, that would be basic start to just a typical huntsman.
Or like in video games, if you start like in games where you join an organization like a guild or something, and you get a starting guild level or whatever, after you do so many missions, get so many accolades, you go up a rank. So it's probably basically just that. I was trying to see if there was anything else that we missed on this. No, it just says license status active. So this look, like, he brings up trust again, which all Team RWBY gives each other these looks like they are really
pushing
the whole fact that RWBY lied to him. But this look,
we've seen he's done this twice now.
I think
he knows.
Yeah, but I think it's to the point now to where he probably understands why they're not being 100% truthful.
But I mean, even in the past, he has said things why, with knowing reasons why to keep something. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't force it out of somebody like that, and he hasn't tried to do that ever.
He's pretty much given RWBY time.
For the fact, though, you can tell he knows, but he still says he trusts them anyway. So whatever they're keeping, it means he trusts them for what they're doing, because look how far they've come. As kids. I mean,
Ironwood may be paranoid and not thinking 100% clearly right now, but he's not stupid.
No, and
he's a military leader.
He trusts both teams for a reason, regardless if they're hiding something. He's trusting them because look how far they've come on their own. Yeah. Well, with Crow, but still, like.
And you notice we didn't see Oscar at all in this episode. I just realized that, so I wonder where Oscar is, because, like, there's a huge theory that Oscar's going to turn on RWBY and tell Ironwood everything. So, yeah, it's, like I said, it's kind of anticlimactic, because, like, you would expect a crowd or something for an event like this, and even Weiss brings up that it's kind of trivial now because of everything they've went through, and Yang even brings up, after all they've went through, it's kind of hard to believe that.
I have a slide for that one.
But yeah, I'm sad.
Ironwood just kind of stumbles over himself. Well, the thing is you got to think also, like, he's used to having a big, it being a big ceremony type thing, and because this was a lot slightly different and not in that same environment, this is.
And I know Penny's just being sweet Penny, but I can imagine in Ironwood's head, he's like, damn it, damn it, Penny. So yeah, all of them pretty much have the same thought, that it just feels like this is Blake saying that after Beacon fell,
she didn't think it'd be possible, and then Yang had also said, like,
she almost forgot this is what she wanted.
Yeah, so this is all surreal to them, and the thing is I have been saying it since forever now. Like, they've been through so much. Just give them their license. Well, we finally get that, and it's been forever. So,
yeah. So it's kind of funny that out of everybody, Crow is the one.
Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah,
you
tell
know.
them to quit being so serious and all that, and to have fun. Which Nora
Somebody
agreed.
finally said it.
Yeah, so it was nice. Like, after the whole doom and gloom that Crow went through in Volume 6, he's the one to tell them to enjoy themselves.
And she wants to go kill some cake. So.
Yeah. And she makes this whole thing like, I can eat 2
Who
slices.
says I can't? Nobody's arguing with you.
Yeah.
The slight little smile, he's just like...
This is just such a great Nora moment. So we had... Like, I wish we had a slide for it, but this was one of the biggest cakes I've ever seen. I'm trying to figure out, is that frosting blue or green?
It's blue.
Okay, because I was like, please tell me that's not like, I don't know, but...
It's blue. And the thing is my theory is the reason why the cake is so big is partially because of Nora.
I don't know if they would have had knowledge of a big eater that Nora is, but then again, I have a feeling...
And he would have.
Well, I have a feeling that between the end of Chapter 2 and the beginning of Chapter 3, there had to have been a couple of days time skip for their upgrades and all that to get fixed, so they probably have eaten there a couple of times now. But yeah, Nora's got a whole tower of cake slices, and she's ready to
Look at Weiss's, both of their faces. They're just like, really, Nora?
Now, this was kind of cute. I don't know why Penny didn't think that the prosthetic would pop off.
I missed the one. I was trying to get the one where she started laughing after it, but...
Yeah, Penny might have just been playing.
I was kind of focused
along.
on the next moment.
Yeah. Okay, so... We have a canon Bumblebee selfie moment.
And if you look closely at the scroll, you can actually see the selfie. At least enough. I want to see this actual picture.
Yeah.
So, please.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping...
Please, RWBY, show us the picture.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's been asking all day on Twitter, please show us the actual picture. Some people are hoping that... that like Yang makes this her background on her scroll or whatever. But here's the thing: in that last slide, right when Yang first came up to her, Blake was already smiling at her. Well, before she looks at the scroll, she's looking at Yang smiling. It's kind of
very hard. It was hard to catch that.
Yeah,
so this
it's
is the
kind
closest I can get to it.
It's kind of like she was kind of more smiling because Yang came up and was being affectionate and all that, and then she realizes that Yang is like
taking like 1,000 pictures.
Yes, she's clicking away.
All you hear is click, 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 click.
And Blake gives this nervous little laugh,
and she's blushing.
Yeah,
like you can see the lines. But it's that nervous, Okay, it kind of mirrors Yang's gay panic in the last one. So
and we're not used to seeing Blake smile, like a big smile like this. So it is kind of like it threw me off at first.
It's a nervous thing, but it's a genuine smile too.
Yeah.
Like it's not, you'd see lines if it was forced. She's just like, okay.
Yeah. So this was a cute little Bumblebee
and
moment.
I noticed their heads are touching.
Yeah. And I mean it once again shows that they're not really worried with what Harriet said. They're acting the same way they always have.
And then we get the back at least, well, you start to see RWBY, but the back shot of them still taking pictures.
Yeah, and then once Yang stops taking pictures, she doesn't...
We'll go back to this one, but she's still holding on to her. Their heads are still, if not even closer, because she actually stepped in and they're both looking at the pictures. So, I mean...
So, it's kind of sad that Ruby's sitting all by herself while the rest of her team and her friends are having fun, but it's kind of the whole, she's pretty much got the weight of the world on her shoulders right now.
We needed this moment here, though.
Yeah,
we needed a moment with Crow.
We needed a good Uncle Crow with RWBY. And RWBY just talks about how, it doesn't feel real, or like she feels like that she still doesn't know any different than she did at Beacon, and Crow...
But also feeling that, she doesn't realize it, like we'd said before about making the right decisions, and if it's what she's
Which Crow
deciding
says
is
that
right.
which Crow says that never goes away.
Yeah, but the thing is she had said she didn't want it to be like Oz, and he goes, no. He pretty much told her, no, here you're not, because Oz didn't trust anybody with his secrets. She's trusting people with her secrets. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not everybody, she's still trusting them. And as he's saying here, making sure they prove themselves first, which also leads back to Ironwood. He trusts them. I really strongly feel he does know. We've seen that look twice. And he probably would know this too, that they're doing this for a reason, and they're making they want to make sure they can trust him first before they trust him with any other extra little information.
Mm-hmm. So
I actually started tearing up hearing about this because
we finally have the summer talk, which has been danced around for years. It's been said, that we need to hear more about summer. And pretty much we learned some surprising things, that apparently Oz didn't know what summer, well, first of all, he says Summer would be proud of Ruby, which is sweet. But he says it was a summer secret. It makes me wonder.
Yeah, Ruby had mentioned the last mission and asked if it was another Oz secret. No, and he said this was a summer secret. So nobody knew. No one knew where she went.
Not even Oz.
Nobody
Unless
did.
Oz lied again, but it just makes you wonder, was Summer the type to keep a lot of secrets? Because there's so much mystery around Summer, and
the whole team,
yeah, and it's just
which I'm hoping we get something more
after this. I'm really questioning what Miles and Carrie have said in the past. I don't know.
It was never really full statements.
Yeah, they
did.
Was? Yeah, they did say she's dead, but
you can say something until you get to a certain point.
Yeah, I'm starting to think there's a good chance that Summer may still be alive.
Probably since the beginning. I've strongly felt, everyone's like, oh, Summer's dead. No, I really feel she's not. There's something missing there. And hearing this, she never came back.
The most popular theory is that she's trapped in Salem's domain, and
I think it has something to do with Salem. But the thing is I really believe, and after, I don't think she's dead, and after hearing this further pushes it for me, because, she went away. No one knew anything. No one knows what her mission she was going on was, and she never came back. There was, as far as I remember hearing, there was never a body found. So it's just a grave marker. There's nothing there.
And I mean, it's the same in real life. Somebody goes missing after so many years, they're pronounced dead. But I mean, look at, we'll get to that at the end of the episode, because we do learn something else at the end of this episode. So just, really good family moment. God, it just feels weird that we have seen way more, as far as Ruby goes, way more of her bonding with Crow than her own dad. With Yang, it was more her,
her and Ty.
Yeah, her and Ty, where we don't really see much interaction between Yang and Crow.
I'm sure we would have seen more with her and with Ruby and Ty, but Ruby took off.
Yeah.
So, and in between, we do know that she's obviously spent time with him, but, besides being a huntsman and a teacher, he's gone a lot.
This is still gonna fuel the whole Crow as Ruby's real dad theories.
No, it's been proven it's not, so. I caught the eyes, that perfect moment. She's just like, hey.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he calls Summer a brat and then says he likes brats, and then Ruby gives him a playful...
Just punches him
on
the side.
So yeah, it's been a long time since we've had a Crow and Ruby moment, so this was...
And then I'm liking this sober Crow.
Yeah.
It's just,
real.
I really do think that the last season, or the last volume, that realization was really starting to hit him. And I know, I don't know if I've really mentioned it in our videos yet, but in the opening from 6, you see these black arms come up and grab onto him and pull him down. Well, everyone's like, oh, well, he's gonna die. That, we now know it's symbolism, because of his drinking. He was going under. And
plus, Volume 6, he went through a dark time.
He did, and that's really what that symbolizes, and he's come far from that so far. And after Ruby stood up to him, I think was another extreme turning point. Like that's why he jokes. He goes, "You try stopping these kids."
This could be a meme, like, "Ooh, Uncle Crow, you don't smell like alcohol anymore. It's weird."
And then they find a mission board.
Yeah, it was very like, this just screamed RPGs to me, like, going on side quests and finding a missions board in the game to go on side quests. So it was very RPG to me. But yeah,
Borderlands.
yeah, Borderlands.
It's the first one that pops in my mind for a mission board.
This was cute.
It was very cute.
Like, she'd put on this whole, like,
what if we could do this, or what if I do this?
Well,
what if I go undercover?
Well, yeah, but she had, like, an accent or whatever. And
yeah.
It reminded me of Volume 1 RWBY a little bit. It was really cute. How strong is Ruby if she can bounce Penny up and down
and
like
then
this?
The hair. I just found that, her hair is all messed up. She's just like, okay, so this is what this feels like. And so that's kind of what the face looks like, because she's done this to Ruby pretty much.
Yeah.
And then we go into Marrow.
I'm sorry, this sounds like a dog reference.
It is very wolf dog-like.
Now, it's funny because we didn't get it here, but I can already tell Vine is very no-nonsense. He makes a comment that he doesn't smell any meat. And Ren says the same.
I don't either. So it's showing a parallel here of the similarities between the two.
Yeah, nobody can tell me that Elm and Vine are not parallels to Ren and Nora. This sealed it for me. I don't need any more proof. That's it.
I really like between these two. I really like. I feel there is something there between them that's more than just what, like I said, I'm going back to it just being Harriet that thought that way. Because who they're based off of fits. Like, but they're obviously not going to let that line cross.
Yeah.
I love her, too. Like, she's becoming a favorite here.
Yeah, like Vine makes a comment that their main mission is to get the satellite up, but Ren makes a point that, that doesn't mean
they can help and keep training and help wherever they can and then wherever they're needed. So
yeah, Elm agrees.
She loves that.
Yeah, she likes their enthusiasm.
I think it's okay. John had volunteered for something, and then it turned out to be
to walk preschoolers to school.
But Meryl was all calm, and then,
when he lets out the most funniest scream ever. It's like a pure, like that. And so she
just has this straight face, like, and then she just touches the board and just, very strong girl, like.
Yeah, it's like to get to hunt a strong saber that's in the sewers of Mantle, and she asks, who wants to volunteer, and Yang,
everybody,
Weiss, Nora, but John's like, why didn't I get a choice? Well, you kind of did. You were the last one to put your arm down.
If you would have just put it down faster with everybody else, nobody would have taken that mission. And then, no, we still have.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had to put it in 2 slides.
There we go. And then, after that, everyone's laughing, but...
Yeah, this is not just us. This is already on Twitter. If you look really close, it kind of looks like Blake's not looking where everybody else is. It kind of looks like she's looking at Yang's ass again, kind of like how she was in Volume 1. So... take that what you will. It may not be. It's kind of hard to tell, but it does kind of...
She is looking in that direction.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, yeah, take that for what you will. It could be stretching a little bit. It's just really, really hard to tell. But it's kind of just a drawback to Volume 1 in the forest when they were collecting sap. So, we go back to Papa Schnee's place.
He didn't want to be disturbed. He let himself in.
Yeah. But Whitley comes to the door, and for once, Whitley looks concerned. And we find out why. It's Watts. Watts has come to see Jacques, and Jacques makes the point that Watts was supposed to be dead. Turns out, Watts faked his death, so we still don't know what Watts exactly did to be disgraced. So, but I mean, apparently he was probably wanted or something at some point, and so he faked his death. Now, he brings up Ironwood and how, you know, Ironwood
says he have a problem with Ironwood. And,
yeah, because Ironwood's costing him money every day, and there's the election and all that, and Watts makes this very, like, not, like, it's funny. Every episode in Volume 7 so far lifts you up and then gives you this sense of dread in every episode. And he does the whole cliche, you know, what if I said you could have your cake and eat it too? So the theory is that Watts was going to, like, side with Jacques on the election, but he's probably manipulating Jacques in some way to help to further Salem's plan.
That seems very likely.
Seems very, very likely. So, episode ends like that on a very, very dreaded tone. I liked this episode. It was good to finally get, like, a slice of life themed episode.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like those, but not every episode can be action and fighting and all that. You got to have episodes like this to push some plot. Plus, it was a big moment. They got their license.
Yeah.
That's something big. That's something that's been asked for a long time. We also got some RWBY character development, you know, with her and Crow. So yeah, it was not a wasteful episode. Like I said, my main criticism is we definitely need scenes like the one with RWBY and Crow for other characters. And like I said, this is not just a Bumblebee thing. Blake and Yang need to talk. That's been the thing since Volume 6.
Yeah.
So they need to give Blake and Yang a scene like that, just for them to talk some stuff out. Which, I mean, when I say talk stuff out, I don't mean, like, you know, a lot of people thought they were going to have to talk to become friends again, but I mean,
no,
they're obviously way beyond that now. But they just do need to have a talk about Adam, what happened at the end of Volume 6, and possibly what they are to each other. Because, I mean, like I said, besides the small pockets of deniers and antis and all that, it's pretty accepted now that Bumblebee's going to happen. Like, it's, like, even people who don't ship Bumblebee are like, yeah, I mean, there's people even saying Bumblebee is the next Kurosami.
I mean, it's kind of playing out that way. We've also, you know, what Aaron said.
Yeah. And, it's the point where you've even got other RWBY tubers who don't ship Bumblebee who are saying, yeah, I mean, this, like, you know, Arnold doesn't ship, but he's pretty much said, yeah, Bumblebee's pretty much inevitable. So, I mean, you can keep fighting it all you want to, but I mean, it's not going to change anything, because I mean, it's pretty much, I want to bring this up. Somebody, we all know, I'm sure anyone watching this knows that during Arnold's live stream for Chapter 3, he got a very nasty comment in a donation about Bumblebee, which Arnold handled it great. He banned the dude and all that, and it's kind of like, hey, the dude wants to give you money, then get blocked.
Well,
you know. But Eddie commented on the thread on Twitter. I forgot to tell you this. One of the new writers. And he said, you know, usually I don't like to talk about stuff like this, but shippers don't change the story. He's flat out said
it's been said before, but by others, but it's gotten buried. But actually seeing it reconfirmed again by somebody, I mean.
So you know what that means. Shippers had nothing to do with Bumblebee becoming a thing. it was either planned from the beginning, or Miles and Carrie decided, you know what, these characters have chemistry. Let's put them.
It.
Let's develop it.
But I mean, I'm still gonna go even back to what Barb says. Okay, well, maybe they're written that way. Like, even go as far back to that video clip of Monty. Yes, that stuff. All LGBT stuff is in this, but at that point in time, they're not gonna go right into that. They have to find themselves to develop that part. So to me, yes, all of this has been planned from there. Bumblebee,
Renora, Arcos,
Ilya, everything's been planned from the beginning. So it's not us changing it. And so to the person that I keep seeing is commenting on like every RWBY ship or every RWBY post, wanting one specific ship to be canon, nothing else, and on everything, and that's coming up more. We didn't change this. That was not in the plans. So I mean,
yeah, Miles and Carrie definitely aren't the type of guys to be bullied into anything. This. So, and it's funny because people say Bumblebee shipper is the most toxic part of this fandom.
There's toxic everywhere, but we're not.
But I'm sorry, in the last few weeks to months, the antis have been the most toxic part of this fandom. They will come into discussions that's not even talking about shipping and start stuff. Yes. So
that's what I'm saying is that there's somebody, I mean, I don't remember the name and I'm not going to name it anyways, commenting on anything Rooster Teeth posts saying, and
I know who you're talking about.
No,
let's not.
I'm not even gonna go. Well, no, I'm not. But make this ship canon. Make this ship canon.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's posts that's not even related to shipping, not even related to anything. Don't do that. Don't be that person. We're gonna keep doing it, and it's.
Yeah, and newsflash: the more you complain to Rooster Teeth about Bumblebee, the more they're gonna support it.
And the more you're just gonna eventually get blocked, banned. I mean, they've repeatedly said they don't want that stuff in the fandom. No, that's not what they're about, and they keep pushing that. Regardless, they're gonna keep saying. That's why. I mean, I know at that point in time when that was that virtual con thing when Barb had said that comment, and they were getting fed up with it too, with all the drama that we were facing with the Bumblebee and everything else, and. They're just like, well, maybe it's been written that way for a reason, like from the beginning. Like we're not gonna change it. I mean, there's some people I know can't accept things, but
let's put it this way: you constantly harassing Rooster Teeth, telling them to not make Bumblebee canon, is not going to change anything as much as us begging them to make it canon is going to be. Because, well, technically, in a way, it's already semi-canon. Because Volume 6 confirmed they've got mutual feelings for each other. So, we're already over halfway there.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a little shipping corner little thing. So far in Volume 7, I'm very happy with the way they've developed it. Because it's realistic. It's not too fast. But it's nowhere near as slow as it was in the past volumes. They're not going to make out right away. And we're just getting these little flirty, cute moments, which is natural. I mean, heck, I think when we first met, we weren't even that hardcore flirting. And it's funny. And it's funny, the whole selfie thing, I'm sure someone's going to say, well, just because Yang kept her arm around her doesn't mean anything. When we take selfies together, I don't even keep my arm around her the whole time. And she doesn't do the same to me, So, I mean, and we're engaged.
He usually huffs when I want to get another selfie.
Yeah, because I hate selfies.
But, I mean, the fact that she went in and actually she's leaning her head against her, even afterwards. Like, yeah, she leaned back to take the picture, and then once they were done, they look at him, but she still stayed with her arm there and kept her head there. So, I mean...
Well, that was another rant, because it just seems like every week there's something, and it's getting old.
Eventually we will do straight out Bumblebee. Like, we won't go into detail from the beginning, but we'll probably at least reference from where it started to now. And I mean, and that will also slightly mirror our personal video that we plan to do. So
yeah,
we'll get into more of that then.
oh yeah. Hopefully you've stayed watching this long. Keep in mind, this week is going to be really probably a little sparse when it comes to videos because American Thanksgiving is this week. We both work Black Friday all day from very early morning till closing. So we're going to try and get this up tomorrow, maybe?
Depends on how fast the internet here lets me upload it.
Yeah.
But we're also, between now and Thanksgiving, are going to try
to do at least two
to
more
do
videos.
some more videos, so that way we can, even
Post
if
them
we're
through
not,
the days.
yeah, even though if we're not going to, even if we can't record on certain days, or like especially Black Friday or Thanksgiving, we'll at least have videos that we can upload. You know,
Yeah.
for scheduled days.
Yeah, because my week at least after Black Friday is like full. I've only got like one day off, so
Mine's a little iffy, but I mean, I could be called in at any time, so.
Yeah.
But we do, if any of you have looked, we have started our story time videos, and we have another one coming. We have a few planned.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them may actually be random when we go to cons, so look forward to that.
Yeah, so like I said, holidays are coming up, so we may not be able to post much. We'll still do our reaction and analysis next Saturday. It's going to be a long day because I got to work that day.
December also we'll once we get closer to Christmas, we'll probably go over that. We probably will put something out for Christmas Eve. It'll probably be a Christmas edition of something.
Yeah.
Maybe in cosplay. Who knows?
I could have sworn there was something else that no, I think that was it. I think it was the holiday stuff that. Oh yeah, go watch our Chapter 2 reaction. It is finally unblocked. Chapter 3 still blocked.
Apparently, there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people. I think Arnold and Cal are the only two that for somehow
slipped through so far.
Yeah, so I don't know how they both get through.
I'll keep watching. We will post when I get an email or I see it's been unblocked.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed the next day or so.
Yeah, watch that Chapter 3 one because it's got a funny beginning and our reaction is pretty funny. I think the reaction to this one was pretty funny as well. When you watch the Chapter 3 reaction, you'll know why I hit her in the head with a Dragon Ball, though I ended up hitting her in the face when I told her not to look.
And then turn the mic off.
Yeah, to avoid hitting her in the face, but she still looked. But, okay, I think we're rambling now, so we need to end this up. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was our RWBY Volume 7, Chapter 4 overview/analysis. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Check out our Patreon and all of our links
in the description down below. Follow us on Twitter. And
we'll see you in the next video.
Yep.